Any Queen's student can run for AMS president, and every student can vote. The AMS is the undergraduate student government at Queen's University. Every year, students elect 3 people to become the executive team of the AMS, and they go on to manage a multi-million-dollar portfolio made up largely of your student dollars. Each presidential position receives a salary of $35,400 and can act as a gateway to a career in politics or advocacy work. But over the past 4 years, the number of students who choose to run for leadership positions at Queen's has dropped, and so has voter turnout in their elections. It's no secret that contested elections are good for democracy. Running against someone forces you to build the best platform possible and put effort into your campaign. The last time there was a contested AMS election at Queen's was in 2017, when 2 teams competed for the executive positions and more than 6,000 students voted, reflecting a similar setup in 2016. In 2018, one team ran but quickly disbanded after failing to earn the journal's endorsement. After an unprecedented 7-hour AMS assembly, an executive team was voted in by assembly members over 2 other teams, none of which adequately campaigned to student voters or underwent the journal's endorsement process, a vital component of any democratic election. In 2019 and 2020, uncontested teams were again elected your student leaders through a vote of confidence, and the amount of voters compared to the contested election in 2017 dropped by half. 2 years ago, Team AJW won both the journal's endorsement and a vote of confidence, but only received a 30.1% voter turnout. This past winter, Team AJA received an even lower voter turnout of 28.3%, with just 2,724 votes cast in their favor. For the first time in more than 20 years, the rector election this past winter was also uncontested. And in 2019, only one candidate ran for the undergraduate trustee election. After that trustee resigned this past winter following his controversial presence at a coronavirus-themed party, multiple candidates running for his replacement pointed out the importance of electing a student leader who can advocate for the diverse needs of all students. Over the past few years, uncontested student leaders have shown they can still accomplish great things. Last year, the AMS Vice President of Operations advocated for the installation of free menstrual products across campus, challenging period stigma. We saw the implementation of Empower Me in 2019, breaking down barriers to student mental health resources, and the beginnings of an AMS compensation policy this fall, which could pay students for their emotional labor in helping the student government pursue anti-racism initiatives. It's no surprise that student leaders can make positive changes, but the past 2 years has shown us we need more. In 2019, the provincial government made several changes to the Ontario Student Assistance Program, increasing barriers to education. 3 months later, in April, anti-Black racist graffiti appeared on an exhibition sign outside the Agnes featuring the work of Indigenous artists. That fall, Queen's students marched through campus demanding climate crisis action from the administration, which has still seen little uptake. The following month, a hate crime was committed against LGBTQ+ and Indigenous students in Chown Hall, leading 1,000 people to walk out in solidarity. At the same time, Queen's suspended its sexual violence policy for endangering students and taking away the autonomy of survivors. In early 2020, Queen's students hosted a coronavirus-themed party, echoing a similar racist costume party held in 2016. A month later, COVID-19 came to campus, kickstarting an era of remote learning in which student mental health has plummeted. Following the death of George Floyd in May, the Queen's Black Academic Society led student groups in raising $12,000 for organizations supporting Black lives. But the Queen's administration was much slower to act. A month later, flags hanging outside the Four Directions Indigenous Student Center were slashed in an act of vandalism, followed by more vandalism to the center's teepee. This fall, Instagram accounts like Stolen by Smith, Erased by Fiefs, and Consent at Queen's have exposed acts of racism and violence right here on campus. Sexual violence, access to education, anti-racism, mental health, the climate crisis, and COVID-19. The student leaders you elect all have a seat at the table when it comes to working with the university administration and the provincial government on these issues. On January 18th, the AMS will host an elections information night over Zoom. Attendance at the meeting is mandatory to run for a position in the student government. At this meeting, you can pick up a nomination package and campaigning information. If you aren't running, then pay attention during the first week of February. The candidates vying for your vote will spend February 1st to 8th distributing their platforms and debating each other. On February 9th and 10th, you'll receive an email invitation to vote. Make sure you check your clutter and junk folders. It's up to you to decide whose platform is best. The effort candidates show along the campaign trail indicates how they will serve you should the student body elect them. If you know you have what it takes to create meaningful change at Queen's, then run for a leadership position. If you don't run, then vote. Stay informed, demand the best. What do you want Queen's to look like a year from now?